Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give my review on Chasing Atlanta. All right, so this is episode 11. Girl, I'll go ahead and say that this was probably one of, if not the best episodes. I know this season. I was going to say, period. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Chasing Atlanta. This season 5 has really been good. I don't think there's one episode, now that I can remember, I don't think there's one episode that I can remember where I felt like it was a filler episode. I think every episode I've been entertained. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's go ahead and get into the review. All right. So Dominique basically accepts Rico's apology. He also apologizes. Um, Drew Friday. Drew Friday pulls Dominique, Jay, Troy, Rico, and Willa outside. Now, I've seen every episode. Maybe I was in the kitchen, girl, fixing a sandwich or making a smoothie, and I didn't hear. But I was a little confused on this part because I didn't know, like, when did this group get so close to the point where they're calling themselves the Fabulous Six? Like, like, when did that happen? I'm gonna say this. I think that this, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and then it doesn't matter. But if I'm right, I think this is just just some constructive criticism. If you're going to show these storylines, I feel like you need to show it all the way through. Like, I shouldn't be on episode 11 and I'm trying to figure out when did these problems with Drew come about. Like, I remember her mentioning therapy before, but I thought she was just mentioning therapy as far as her dealing with her gender identity. I didn't know that Drew was having suicidal thoughts and other stuff. So I felt like it's kind of like they skipped over all of that and just bam, here we are with Drew talking about, oh, I want to thank y'all so much for being here for me. And it's like, girl, where is the lead up to this? Because I didn't even know that they were all cool like this. I didn't know it was a Fab Six. you know, it's kind of like, remember when they had Q, Oliver, and um, Lauren, and they called themselves something. That made sense. I saw how their friendship transitioned. You see what I'm saying? Like, when did this friendship transition to now y'all calling yourself the Fab Six, and is she giving out coffee mugs? like, but I just wish they would have showed more to let me know that, okay, this friendship, this. Oh, okay. Or at least with Drew, not even necessarily being in therapy, right? But at least talking about her issues. Has she talked about these issues? If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll take everything back that I said. But I feel like I'm right. Um, so they go to some like little part of town where they have like basically shops, kind of like, I guess, the main part of the main attraction of town. Girl, I was like, I live, but sisters, be careful. I was living for the fact that that my sisters and brothers was out there having the time of their life, walking around with crop tops and purses. Girl, I live. But girl, I didn't see it in sight. Okay, that might be a good thing, quite as good. But girl, I feel like that was the only black people out there. I was like, girl, sisters, I guess quiet is just kept. If you really want to be honest about it, girl, you might be all right around the white people. It's the niggas who you got to worry about when they got to do with when they got to do with the homosexuals. Y'all know we're not gonna play this game, but this not that video, so I'm gonna let it go. So those probably all right. The white people just gonna stare. The black boys. Y'all already know what they gonna give if they was out there. The straight ones are the ones who struggling, girl. The ones who probably two stepping in the closet and struggling with their sexuality. You know what they giving. They giving out ass whoopings. But you just minding your business. But shout out to my sisters. Anyways. Um Kim, Dominique, and Rico, they sit down to talk. Girl, I forgot all about this. Girl, Quadas is Kim. I forgot all about Dominique. Girl, like, this is the thing. And correct me if I'm wrong again. This situation didn't even happen on Chase in Atlanta, right? I think it happened on Chase in Dallas. I think that they went to Chicago. I think that Reese and the girls and boys went to Chicago. And I think that some of the other girls from Atlanta met up with them in Chicago, I believe, but this all happened on Chase in Dallas. And I guess at the time, that's when I guess the mess popped off, and I don't know, girl. Anyways, they're talking about it, episode 11. Could we almost done, y'all? Okay. Um, Basically, Cam is trying to get his friendship back on track with Dominique. I guess Cameron made a comment about, excuse me. All right. So basically, um, Dominique makes a comment about not really needing. I think Cam made a comment about protection or something, and Dominique made a comment about not needing protection. Don't you remember what happened a couple of weeks ago? Girl. Now I like Dominique, but Dominique, I'm gonna start calling you delusional, Dominique. Cause girl, do you remember what happened a couple of weeks ago? Girl, from what I remember, you the one who got your goddamn face, girl, busted. And girl, your eyeballs was hanging out your socket because Miss Rico, girl, pulled out a can of girl, shut your eyes. And girl, told everybody up that was in the vicinity. So girl, I just want to know, Miss Dominique, girl, do you remember what happened a couple of weeks ago? Because we remember. It was only one person walking around with blood dripping down their chin, their chinny chin chin. And it was you. I love Dominique. Anyways, Cam basically brings up that he had a son. I'm guessing it was his gay son. I'm assuming. I don't know. He said that he's been raising him since high school. That's why I'm assuming. Um, and I guess I don't know. He died, and so I guess that of course, that took a toll on Cam, and he had been dealing with that on top of other things in his life. So basically, the groups that kind of like separated. They all met up. Jay is pissed. They're sitting down. Oh, then they meet up and then they break up again. So it was like Oliver, I think Troy, Ike, Drew Friday, um, I think Rico with the K. I think it was everybody except for Kendra, Rico Cassadine, Willa, and Jay. And I think it was those four went over here, and then the rest of them, I guess, stayed behind at the restaurant. Excuse me. Um, I don't know what happened, but Cameron basically said I guess somebody asked him a question about who would not return next season. And I guess based off of Jay's um, interaction with the group, he said Jay will probably be the one that wouldn't return next season. Honey, I said Aaron. I mean, that's another story for another day. But Aaron really hasn't contributed anything to the season, quiet as it's kept. Like, I'm not trying to be mean, but he hasn't. So if who would you think that wouldn't return next season? Aaron. I mean, everybody clearly want to sleep with him. He look like he got a big booty. All right. He can sing. but his personality is blah. He don't bring nothing to the show. But that's just me. Um, so Jay, girl, Jay going off in the store. Baby, when I tell you, when Kendra was in her confessional, when I tell you I was hollering at the stuff that she was saying.
Oh, I said, you've been fucking them, huh? Oh, you've been fucking them.
So Wayne and Rico were in the room talking. He basically lets Wayne know that Cam and Jay had been hunching, and girl, Wayne was surprised. Like I think most people were surprised. Um, um, when I tell you Wayne, honestly, Wayne, Kendra, Willa, Rico, like everybody's reaction, just they were just funny this episode. They were just hilarious to me, especially Kendra. This is the side of Kendra that I like the funny, just not to say that people don't go through stuff because we all go through stuff. But I just I've said it and I'll say it again. Every time Kendra pops on my screen, it's like a violin starts playing. Girl, here she goes. This episode, I just thought Kendra was just fun. It was just fun. Um. So, anyways, so they sit down and they are having dinner, and Jay starts talking. Am I the only one that feels that Jay is full of shit? I'm not saying that Cameron hands are clean, but I feel like Jay's whole body is just dirty. Not like he's dirty, but girl, I was trying to make a comparison, and I don't think it came out right. Usually, I'm kind of quick on my feet, but I'm not saying Jay is dirty. But I was saying like I know Cameron hands are clean. I mean, I know Cameron hands are dirty, but girl, Jay leaving footprints in the sand. I don't know if that's a good. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. I just feel like Jay looks crazy. And I think everybody, after that whole scene, I think everybody looked at Jay like, oh my God, this nigga is psycho. Not psycho like, girl, I'm scared he's going to beat my ass, but like, girl, you're just like, I don't, the stuff that Jay is saying does not make sense to me. You just had your whole boyfriend supposedly sending you flowers and candy in the last episode. You go out of town on a trip that you probably contributed some money to, and they tell us that you've been holed off in your room the entire weekend, not interacting with the group. What was the purpose of coming on the trip and wasting your money and your gas, putting them miles on your car? And then from what the people were saying on the show, it barely made it to where it needed to get. But you just to have an attitude the whole time. And then you're mad at Cameron because of something, quite frankly, you started. Like, you have a boyfriend, but you're mad at Cameron. And you're mad at Cameron because you knew Cameron was going to send some flowers. And you knew it was you thought it might have been a shady message. But once you got the flowers and the message, you realized that it wasn't for you and it was for someone else. And I think that person was Troy, right? Or maybe even other people in the group. And that's what made you mad. To the point where you went off on this man the way that you did in front of the group just to find out that y'all been fucking. Oh, y'all been fucking. Okay? Not once, not twice, not three, not four, but I think they said 5 times. And then they say that Cameron doesn't even mention you at all. Y'all see what I'm saying? And then on top of y'all having a sexual relationship, I think that they've also hung out outside of them having sex. So clearly there's some type of, not when I say relationship, I don't mean relationship as though we're boyfriend and boyfriend, but clearly y'all were like cool. Y'all out in the streets hanging out and then going home fucking and sucking. But then you get in front of these people and you act a fool and literally trash this man's name in front of everybody. And now you're looking extra crazy because now people know y'all was fucking. And you think that he took money out of your pocket. This is my thing. And I said the same thing about Rico Cassadine. I don't understand why he was so pissed off at Dominique when Dominique said what he said about his music. Like, who the fuck is Dominique? Like, who the fuck is Cameron? You see what I'm saying? Who are these people to the point where you would get so upset where you felt as though they had this much power and influence to damage what you have going on? Ain't nobody on that show got no fucking power. I'll probably give it to Oliver, and the reason why I give it to Oliver, what I'm trying to say, I know people just roll their eyes. We're gonna talk about Oliver in a little bit. I feel like Oliver has enough access to other people where he could probably get doors closed. So, like for example, who, say if Troy, because Troy has his like podcast thing, right? Doesn't he? Or his interview. He interviews celebrities or something, right? Podcasting. Um, I'll just use him as an example. Say if he wanted to interview, I'll say Dr. Heavenly, and then Dr. Heavenly went to Oliver and said, "Hey, some little boy who you work with on that Chasing Atlanta want to interview me." And then Oliver said, I mean, that's you, Dr. Heavenly, but don't do this because he X, Y, and Z. You see what I'm saying? That could probably sway Dr. Heavenly because Dr. Heavenly and Oliver have a relationship, but Dr. Heavenly not to work with Troy. Like, I don't think the other girls got pulled like that. So even with Cameron saying, "Oh, your dress," he offered Kendra a dress. Like, what the fuck? Cameron offering Kendra a dress. Yes, it was shady. Yes, it was shady. Yes, it was shady. But how was he trying to steal your client or sway your client? Because Kendra wanted to take the dress off anyways, from what she told us, because she didn't want to wear the dress to where they were going. But Kendra also was also skeptical of wearing what Cameron had based off of what he had her in, I think in her video. But even with Cameron saying, "Oh, I got a dress in a car," yes, I do think again Cameron was being shady. But what was going on that night? Because Kendra had that dress on. When did she have that dress on? Was it at Troy's event? I can't remember. But what was going on that night where Cameron saying what he said could influence or damage your reputation as a stylist or a um, fashion designer? Like, who was in the building? How much power does Cameron have with him even, again, being shady or offering Kendra a dress that will sway the people that were there? Like, is Cameron really taking money out your motherfucking pocket? Or you just want to have another reason to be mad? Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Like, Cameron ain't swayed shit left or right. Even if Cameron had a dress in the car and he gave the dress to Kendra, that still would have nothing to do with Jay. And I don't think that the people that were probably at the event, no tea, no shade, I don't think the people at the event even really gave a damn about Cameron or Jay. Y'all get what I'm trying to say? Girl, Jay was so goddamn mad, honey. He was pointing that finger, and his finger was shaking. Girl, I was like, girl, I was like, Jay needs to calm down. He was really getting himself worked up. He was clearly mad. I will say, in Jay's defense, it it almost seemed like nobody cared, and I think that that's probably part of the reason that Jay got so upset because even with this moment where it should have been about Jay and Cameron, it really kind of ended and went to like Willa and Oliver. And if you go back and watch the clip, girl, everybody was just sitting there eating their food. Like, really, like, girl, what the fuck is we talking about? Like, okay, girl. So I could see on the top on the fact that he was already angry. And then when you have people at the table that are acting like they don't care, because the truth of the matter is, like he said, everybody pretty much has had their moment to discuss whatever they needed to discuss. But now, since it's time for me to have whatever discussion I need to have with whomever, now it's an issue. But he wasn't making it any better with all hollering and screaming and girl, he was doing a lot. And that's exactly why I think people started tuning him out. And then even after it was all said and done, most of the people that were in the house were like kind of like, girl, this nigga is like, what the fuck? Like, anyways. Rico started going off, I guess because Jay raised his voice. Rico gonna let the girls know he ain't no bitch. I know that's right. I was like, okay, Rico. I said, okay. I said, girl, my man that got mad. Okay. Um, but anyways, um, Rico basically says be careful about, talking about somebody's brand. Um, I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's kind of like, girl, the truth of the matter is, and this is what they're gonna have to all realize is, it's one thing, and I just think this is across the board for everybody. It's one thing when you really fuck with someone and you probably get into a disagreement or an argument or whatever, or even if you're trying to build a relationship with someone, you may want to watch what you say to that person because that could be the end of the relationship. But if you ain't got no relationship and you don't fuck with each other, the girl, to me, it's kind of like ain't no love in war. So for y'all to want to set all these rules and boundaries when you fighting and fussing with a motherfucker who you probably can't stand the ground they walk on is just not realistic. It's just not. And I think everybody needs to get away from that shit. I'm not saying that, girl, I would just be cutthroat with a bitch, but the truth of the matter is, girl, if it was a bitch who I just couldn't fucking stand and I knew she couldn't stand me, then bitch, let's get these tongues to goddamn thrashing. Because that's what's gonna happen. And I'm not gonna care what you say to me, and you probably might care what I say to you. And I'm not gonna care about the relationship because bitch, I don't like your ass anyways. You see what I'm saying? I think if it was like Rico, if Rico got into an argument with, say, who was he close with, like Dominique, then of course that would be an argument where they would probably need to watch what they say to each other because they're friends. But Troy, I mean Jay can't stand Cameron. So Jay don't really owe nothing to Cameron. I mean, girl, his reasoning of not liking Cameron is kind of stupid to me, and I think for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, girl, he still don't like Cameron. Girl, as far as I'm concerned, girl, he used Cameron to get on the show. Girl, I'm sorry. And then he tried to tell us that Cameron, the motherfucker who been there since season one, using him for a storyline. Jay, we don't even know you, girl. Girl, why does this count? So why is Cameron using you for a storyline? And he's been here since season one. Girl, I'm not saying there's people who've been on the show don't need a storyline because they do, but I don't think that he. Anyways, girl. Um, Willa calls out Oliver. Girl, I mean, what it comes down to is this: Oliver is messy. I realized last year that Oliver was messy. When that whole stuff happened between him and Q, I was like, oh, Oliver messy. And you need to watch him. See, this is the thing. Oliver is the one on the show that is like the producer. He's probably like the unpaid producer or the one who kind of like pretty much gets the storylines going. So he's really not used to kind of like how Giselle gets the shit going on Potomac, but nobody really ever calls her out except for like Karen maybe. Everybody else kind of leaves her alone. Well, last year Wendy got into her ass, but for the most part, people leave Giselle alone. You see what I'm saying? I think that's what Oliver does too. But so Oliver's not really used to people calling him out. So when Willa called him out, it probably took him by surprise. But the truth of the matter is, Oliver is messy as fuck. He gets the shit started. Okay? He gets the shit started. He don't mind getting the shit started, right? Now he had a point when he said, I can control. Basically, y'all hoes is ghetto, and y'all like to fight and pull out weapons. I don't do that. I can have a disagreement, and we can, tussle it out verbally. Girl, y'all walking around here talking about, girl, you didn't come alone, Miss Willa. Okay? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that, girl, Oliver is messy. Girl, he messy. And Willa called his ass out in front of everybody. And he didn't know how to take it. And girl, just like Rico said, she wrapped his ass on up together. She did. She did. Um, Basically they play a game. Girl, I hollered. I said, girl, now Jada did all this extra shit. The girl walked outside. Girl, now he done got locked outside. Somebody got to come open up the door for him. Girl, that's what your ass get. Trying to be all extra and cause a scene and make an exit. Then got your black ass locked outside with the goddamn bears, coyotes, lions, okay? The lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, about to have a good feast, okay? Get your ass back in this goddamn cabin. Shit, I would have walked by and act like I didn't see his ass standing through the glass. Since he want to act silly, we in here trying to have a good time. Finally, he get his attitude together. Girl, girl, I think, girl, they leave the next day, right? I don't know, but girl, he gets his attitude together, and girl, he joins the party, and he used to be a drag queen, he said, and they're all having a good time. And that was pretty much the episode. The episode was really, really good. All right, I'm sleepy as hell. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.
He been fucking them. I'm done, y'all. I'm done. I'm sorry. Let me get back right, y'all. I can't forget.